Inspiration behind Romans 13:11. That's a good question because that goes back, man, 2000, late 2016, early 2017. I did music in the world, but the more research I did and the understanding that I've gotten in the industry, the further away it took me from doing music. It kind of destroyed my passion for music. So I was probably on at least a 5-year hiatus on doing music before I came into the truth. So what inspired me is this song in particular was I was just awakened. I just woke up to the truth, and being asleep means pretty much being unconscious to your surroundings, just not understanding what's going on from your heritage, culture, to the impositions against you as a nation of people. We all understand racism and what we went through in slavery, Jim Crow, all these steps in our lives as a nation of people, but we don't understand why. We're not getting any answers anywhere. So when Paul says it's high time to wake up out of sleep, that's what he means. Wake up to your heritage, wake up to your culture, and understand the imposition against you. Understand the wiles of Satan, the wiles of Satan, and so it was basically saying, if you're chasing anything but the Most High, you sleep. If you're chasing money, you sleep. You chasing cars, women, you sleep. If you don't believe in Christ, you sleep. If you don't believe in God, you sleep. If you believe in Allah, anything outside of this word, you're asleep. You're dead asleep. And it's high time to wake up. The first verse goes like this. It's high time to wake up out of sleep. Brother, what you doing with your life? Our salvation there isn't believed. Even if you poor, you still pay the price. We was born into a living lie. Who do you trust when oppressed? I'm finally awake, I thank the Most High. Now it's time to overcome the lust of the flesh. So basically having a shout out to the men letting us know that, we need to awaken to the truth to lead our nation. Because, the flock of the Most High's pasture is men. So the men, it is up to us first to get in, the battlegrounds and lead the way for our women and children. When I say even if you poor, you still pay the price, meaning the wages of sin is death. Even if you poor, you still gonna pay that price on Judgment Day. Even if you don't have no tangible funds to pay, you gonna have to pay with your soul. We was born into a living lie. We was born into a false reality, Who do you trust when oppressed? Us being the oppressed people, who can we trust in this world to give us the truth? Can we trust our oppressors? Can we trust this school system? Can we trust Hollywood? Who can we trust when we're the slaves? The Most High, of course. Now it's time to overcome the lust of the flesh. That's the end game right there. That's the battle. It's not the white man. It's not any other nation. The battle is overcoming that demon within inside. That's inside of you. That's overcoming. That's making it to the kingdom right there. Every holiday we celebrate our downfalls, but he winked at our ignorance. Searching for the light, mentally groundhog. Knowing the shadow to come springs deliverance. So basically, every holiday we celebrate in this false reality, born into these lies, we was born to celebrate our own downfalls, whether it be Thanksgiving, the slaughter of the natives, that's one of our downfalls. Christmas, the celebrating of Saturnalia, or Ashtoreth, the birth of Tammuz, that was one of our downfalls in Babylon. Easter, the so-called resurrection of Tammuz, Nimrod reincarnate, that was one of our downfalls. Every holiday we celebrate in this kingdom was a part of our destruction as a nation. But the Most High winked at our ignorance. So I believe that's Acts 17:30, But he requires every man to repent. So us being ignorant to the truth, the Most High winked at it and forgave us for it. Mentally groundhog. searching for the truth, mentally groundhog. We was mentally like groundhogs, you know, just no light in our lives, you know, and we understand the so-called groundhog and the significance of it searching for a shadow, knowing that when it sees its shadow, that spring is on the rise, you know, and we understand bringing that to Christ, and I believe that's Hebrews chapter 10, that a shadow of good things to come, the shadow of the law was a good things to come. So that shadow we're looking for is Christ, which springs our deliverance. So we was mentally underground with no light as groundhogs, waiting for Christ to come. And that shadow of Christ will spring our deliverance. So that's basically what that meant. I praise the Most High for the bishops and deacons and the elders for the light that was beacon. It wasn't too much that a brother believed in. Didn't realize I was battling demons. So basically, I'm just thanking the Most High for our leaders, you know, the Gathering of Christ Church. I thank the Most High for Elder Rakai, Gabar, Gaja, Lawyer, even our deacon here in Chicago, you know, Deacon REI. And I can't say every name because I miss some people, but these were the light that led me, and I'm sure countless of others, to the truth. You know, we got to thank the Most High for our leaders, the humility that they carry, and just it's something that we have that the rest of the world is not getting. You know, this light that we're getting from our leaders is truly a blessing. You know, and I was just thanking the Most High for that. I didn't realize the battle I was in. You know, I didn't understand that it was demons inside of me that I was battling on a daily basis, you know, but having that understanding from my teachers, it really opened another viewpoint to this world and understanding the doctrine of Christ. You know, we have to understand that inner man and know the battle that we're up against. So I thank the Most High for that. I had no idea that the bed I was sleep in was my casket. Just had to be closed. Thought the life I lived was real. I was dreaming. I heard my name, and then I awoke. I was asleep. I was unconscious, you know, thinking that I was doing something with my life. I was asleep. You know, I was really in my grave, thinking the bed I was asleep in was my rest, when it was really my grave. Somebody just had to close the casket on me, and I would have been on that joyride to eternity. You know, this information, this knowledge of the truth, awakened me. You know, the Most High called my name, and I literally heard that. He called my name to this truth, and you know, a lot of us, we just have to answer. We just have to take heed to that awakening and do our research. A lot of our people don't want to research the truth. We got to research the Most High, and that's Him calling your name. And the only way you can seek Him is, the Bible tell you, you know, seeking you shall find. You know, they hid the Most High from us, so we got to seek Him. Let's awaken and seek Him. I'm still yawning, wiping sleep out my eyes. I see the strife, and what could be worse? I'm still mourning as the evil arise, but that's the life when you cursed. They told us all that we African Americans, but nah, let's get back to our heritage. I'm appalled at the lack of what marriage is. For the cause, got our backs to the carriages. We carry the weight of the nations. We the lost sheep. I love my people, I gotta be patient. We're in a deep sleep. So basically, we've been called African Americans our whole lives. If you came over here on slave ships, if you're descendants of slaves, if you're so-called black, Negro, African, American, that was the title given to us. But I'm here to say, no, that's not what the Most High, that's not the heritage the Most High gave us. He told us we were Israel. From the land of Israel, we had a culture, heritage, we had promises. You know, we had the whole 9 yards. We were given more. And we need to come back to that. We carry the weight of the nations. You know, every kingdom that was built in this earth was built by our people. We carry their weight. you know, and us understanding the truth, we have to be patient with our people because they are sleeping. We once were. So we have to be patient as the Most High was patient with us. And the hook goes as follows. All I see is ZZZZs. ZZZZs. ZZZZZZZZs. ZZZZs. ZZZZs. It's high time to wake up out of sleep. It's high time to wake up out of sleep. ZZZZs. Little do we know, our salvation never then believed. And when I came up with the hook, I was pretty much, I don't know if it was on this particular day, but you know, I do a lot of thinking. I go on the balcony and just ponder and just watch our people, see how we operate. And a lot of times going to work, because at this time when I made this song, I was working at Northwestern Hospital, and just going to work, walking to work down the street, just seeing our people, even every other nation. I can't even just say our people because everybody sleep. You know what I'm saying? And just understanding our key emphasis as a people, as a human race, is outside of the Most High. You know, our main focus is our careers, you know, our jobs, or of course, you know, your focus should be your family, building a nation, but the Most High comes first. You know, you should go to the Most High and guide you leading your family, guide you in your career. You know, us as a people, the Most High is the last thing on our agenda. So we're asleep. You know, anything outside of the Most High being your main focus, you're asleep. So when I walk and operate, I just see Z's. That's all I see. You know, that's all I see. And, you know, we need to wake up. You know, that's just being awakened when you actually see the spiritual side of things. You may not see it physically, but spiritually, when I talk to people, it's like talking to zombies, you know, honestly. So that was the inspiration behind the hook. The second verse goes as follows. It's high time to wake up out of sleep. Sister, what you doing with your life? Our salvation never then believed. I mean, right around the corner. It's the same story, try to make it in this world. I'm occupied with serving the Most High. It's vainglory, try to make it in this world. Preoccupied with being the most fly. That's self-explanatory. Since revelations is coming to pass, here comes Satan to stumble your path. Why would I want to go back to the world? That's complicated if you do the math. The simplicity is in Christ. Don't let Lucifer beguile it. You was bought with a price. Don't let the prince of the air defile it. So basically, the doctrine of Christ is simple. But it's man's theology that made it complicated, to the point where we're not even able to read the Bible as it is written. You know, the Most High is simple, and he chose a simple people. So he made the doctrine simple as can be, so that we all can understand it, from the poor to the rich, from the educated to the uneducated. The Most High made sure the doctrine of Christ was simple for our people to understand. And Satan, he twisted it up. He's the prince of the air. You know, he's the prince of the power of the air. Satellites and all that, you know, the radio waves and all that, just giving information. Satan's the prince of that. So he used that to distort the doctrine of Christ. You know, but we have to come back to the simplicity of Christ and understand we was bought with a price. We was bought with his blood. You know, we were slaves coming out of Egypt, and we was bought with a price. The Most High bought us coming out of Egypt, and he redeemed us through the blood of Christ. So that's what it means to be bought with a price. You know, we were redeemed. We were slaves. And we understand the laws that the Most High gave concerning a servant in the Old Testament, Deuteronomy. It's no different from Israel. You know, it's no different. Don't you know you the salt of the earth? Plain and simple. Result of the curse. The truth is new wine. And yes, in due time, all my sorrows and pain turned into mirth. I can't complain. I know who I am. where I am, and what's the scoop. And it's such a blessing. I got brothers and sisters across the globe that know the truth. They told us all that we Indians and Hispanics, colonized by the British and the Spaniards, telling lies to the children and the parents. We all gotta come back to the law. Why? We carry the weight of the nations on our backs. We the lost sheep. I love my people. I gotta be patient. It's a fact. We're in a deep sleep. All I see is Z's. Similar to the first verse when I said they told us all we were African Americans. They did the same thing to the northern tribe. They told us all we were Indians and Hispanics. You know, taking us away from our culture, taking us away from what the Most High gave us. You know, colonized by the British and the Spaniards. It's a reason why certain tribes speak Spanish, certain tribes speak English, certain tribes speak French. Whoever you was colonized by, that's what was given to you. And that's the story of the northern tribes, no different from the southern tribes. You know, we got to come back to our heritage. We all got to come back to the law. The law is what's governing us as a nation. A nation without law you're a slave. If you're a nation without law, you're a slave. Every nation, the government has some type of law to abide by to govern its citizens. So us being without that, we're slaves. So it's time to come back to what the Most High gave us and, you know, receive the promises of our father, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That's what it's about. Come back, Israel. Kwam Yashala.